You are now in the rabbit hole. Welcome. This is Kat Mendoza, your host in this podcast. And in this episode, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about my intention with everything that I'm doing right now and really focusing that and bringing it on in the connection on believing or understanding or getting inspired to do what you want to do without being perfect at it or without really knowing, just to start something because you have passion of it. And I really, I was editing one of the episodes that I just did with a friend. I was about to start to edit it and everything, and I realized that I messed up a lot. Okay, I totally did not save what I needed to save, and there was all this noise and all these different, let's say somebody will call them maybe mistakes or whatever it is, because I didn't prepare myself before, because I didn't know, because I'm not an expert on this, right? And this is why I actually felt very connected on making this episode here, just me talking, because I feel like it does relate a lot to just doing what you want to do, or just try what you want to try, no matter if it doesn't come out perfect, no matter if you're not an expert on it, because that's not the whole point. I feel in my experience, not just starting this podcast, but just in life in general, I've done a lot of stuff, right? I'm 25 years old. For those that don't know me or don't know much about me, I'm 25 years old, but I have done a lot. I have made a lot of mistakes already, and I'm sure I have more to go, but I have grown a lot. I have evolved a lot. I have changed a lot. And one of the things that I was just analyzing or just really meditating on, thinking about, is that the reason why I have, gotten so far into who I am now and done so much in such a very short time is because I went for it. Every single different thing that I'm doing right now, I was aware that I didn't know how it was done. I didn't know how to do. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know, oh my god. But I didn't think about that. I was just I'm gonna just do it. Let's see what, and let's talk about the example of me starting this podcast, because maybe you've been thinking about starting a podcast, or it could be just anything else. Maybe starting that job that you've been trying to get, or maybe you got it but now you're scared, or a relationship, or whatever it is. Okay, we're going to this rabbit hole of life, but my example at this moment right now, while I was editing that and I got everything messed up and I was kind of getting a little frustrated and mad, but then I was like, okay, this is cool. You know why it's cool? Because this is the experience that is making me grow on my podcast, right? It's making me know better for the next time, etc. And just starting, when I first started my podcast, right? I had the idea of starting the podcast, and I don't even know how it honestly came to my head to do it, but I was doing YouTube videos and that was cool, right? And my content totally changed, but then everybody was not everybody, who's everybody, but I started to have people tell me, hey, you should start a podcast, with everything that you're doing, because I was doing live interviews on Facebook and on YouTube and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, that's so cool, because I've been thinking about it, right? But I just hadn't aim it. And then I'm just okay, wait on a second. I didn't know that I could just start a podcast. I guess I could. I guess I can, right? Anyone can, right? But I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And all this stuff that go through. But even before I even did the research, and it may sound to some people, what? That's stupid. That's not how you do it, or whatever, right? But again, this is the rabbit hole of just expressing myself and how I have done a lot of things in my life, and it has worked, or it has taken me to the next thing that has worked, if that makes sense. I said and I committed myself to start my podcast even before I had an idea how it really worked. I never heard podcast before. I mean, maybe I have heard like maybe like 1 second or something on YouTube, or I don't know, but I don't listen to podcasts, okay? And I didn't have any idea about this. But I was just like, I'm gonna start a podcast. And I just, started to Google stuff and like, okay, like, and it was very confusing. It can get very confusing in the beginning because there's just so many different little things that you want to do when starting a podcast. It's not like just, when you open an Instagram or a Facebook page, right? Like there's all these different websites and things that you want to use, and it can get very confusing. But I had already scheduled my first guest probably like 2 weeks before I even had a microphone, okay? I didn't even have a microphone when I had already set and scheduled my first guest. And that is just throwing yourself out there, throwing yourself into the unknown of not knowing, and just doing it, and just enjoying the evolution, and just enjoying the ride until getting there, and making those mistakes and having fun with those mistakes and being honest and whatever it is, right? But think about something in your life right now, whatever that it is that you have been thinking, and if it's been more than 2 weeks that you've been thinking about it but you haven't started it, hey, start it tomorrow. Do a little bit, something closer, whatever it is. Maybe like I did, right? I scheduled my guest without even really having a podcast yet. That motivated me to go ahead and get it done and do the research for the beginning portion of it, etc., etc. So do not be afraid. Do not be scared of just jumping into something without knowing, because I feel like that's where the cool experience is. That's where the growth, the evolution, the getting uncomfortable and just doing it in the moment, being spontaneous. And that's just a little bit of saying, motivation quote, whatever it is that you want to mention, that you want this episode is about. It's just, really cool to just jump into things in life that you want at the moment. And it doesn't mean that it's gonna be the one that, boom, that's exactly what I wanted and it's perfect. But it's gonna make you grow a lot. It's gonna take you somewhere else. It's gonna direct you somewhere else, someone else. And I think we can use this when we talk about anything in life, relationships. When things don't work, so what? You learn a lot. You learn what you don't want and what you want, and all these different things, right? Like, it's so abroad. Or when you make mistake at a job or something like that. Everything takes you to really taking the step and doing the things that you need to do. And I feel like the passion will take care of everything else, and everything just kind of comes and you just get it done no matter what. But you gotta try it. You gotta try doing things. You gotta try doing different things, and it's okay if something doesn't work out. Move to the next one. But don't just stay there sitting thinking about it, because I feel like it hurts more to just think about wanting to do something and not knowing if it actually could work, because you don't know, because you haven't tried it. That hurts more than trying something that didn't work out, or that you end up realizing that you didn't have much passion of it. But at least you know now that you don't. And I don't feel like there's a way of losing in this life or winning. It's just a way of being and just experiencing. And this is what this whole podcast is about: experiences. It's the experience points of us humans, of everybody that comes to listen and that comes to be a guest. I am here because I'm really because I'm really inspired to just hold space and actually like work on being a better listener. And thank you for just, being here right now. And whatever that it is happening in your life, know that it's worth a try. Or whatever you want in life. And if you don't follow through something, or you didn't finish it, or maybe that's not what you really want, or I don't know. But I welcome you to come to be part of this podcast. Yes, it doesn't have a specific idea. Well, it doesn't have a specific you don't know what may come in these episodes, in this podcast of mine, of yours. But we're gonna have fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot. And I just welcome you to learn about something new too, into whatever it is that you've been thinking about. Maybe this is your sign of go ahead and try it, go ahead and move it. Even when you're scared, when you don't know, Google tells you everything nowadays, Yeah. I think I just found the title of this video, or this episode. This episode is going to be called Starting When You Are Not Prepared. I don't know if I like that one. Unprepared. Unprepared wisdom. What do you think about that? Unprepared wisdom. Just let go of the idea that everything has to be perfect. For me, that was very easy. It doesn't mean that you're not caring, but yeah, you can better. You're gonna learn, but just start. Just start whatever it is that you've been thinking about starting. Just start. Because this is the unprepared wisdom of today with Kat Mendoza. And that's it. Want to just kind of throw that out there, giving you a little bit background of how I started this podcast. Everything is just coming along very, 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 very beautifully. And I wish that anything that you want comes along that way too. Just drop the expectations, have fun, learn. And most important of anything, connection. Connect with others and with yourself. Unprepared wisdom. See you in the next episode. That's what I got for tonight. Bye bye. The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. I can feel it. I can hear it. The rabbit hole.